Nebraska, they're in the red and black. Rutgers in the white and black, and we're underway. And they start with Becca Kojadinovic. It's dug out that time by Kenzie Knuckles. We'll get you the starting lineups in just a second. But an error on Rutgers gives Nebraska their first point. Rutgers' first ever All-Big Ten selection last year. The first team all-setter, Ina Belika, Camilla Cheshlik, and Megan Vernon getting the start. That one drops in for a kill. A lot of questions again being asked of this Nebraska team after they lost 3 matches in a row and fell out of the top 10 in the country for the first time in 4 years. Well, they have answered all those questions and then some, as there's a big kill on the far side from Krause. And a dominant straight set win against Nebraska. That was the valley of the season so far. They're hitting their peak now. The return of Stivrins plus some high-octane offense. This team looks as good as they have in recent years. And Rutgers certainly has a tough test today. 4-set win in Penn State in which they set season highs in kills, digs, blocks. They get an ace there, the first of the match, and it comes from Kiana Leakana, the sophomore from Hawaii. 3 recruits. It is a loaded class for the freshman under John Cook. And if there were any doubters about the future of Nebraska volleyball, I think they've been put to rest over these last 2 weeks. The way that some of these freshmen have played along with their leaders. They're able to keep that one alive. And they get a kill, and it's Maddie Kubik, the junior. And again, we mentioned it. Some of those freshmen have played a huge role for the Huskers. They've got an early 6-2 lead. Coming from the back row and missing the mark that time was Kenzie Knuckles. But they've climbed back inside the top 5. And in Big Ten play, they've got the best hitting percentage in the league. Vernon drops it down. The redshirt senior transfer from Kansas State has been a nice addition. Years for the Wildcats to have 100 block assists or more when she did that a couple of years ago. And she's come to Rutgers for her final season and has made a nice mark. Country and across all of NCAA women's athletics. They always travel well. They've got a sea of red on the right side of your screen here in the rack. And they go to Batenhorst, and she's got her first kill. Here's Kojadinovic going for the back row and fit that in perfectly, threaded the needle. On the back-to-back nights of the Big Ten schedule with the COVID-shortened season last year, it was much of the same from prior history in the first night when Nebraska won in straight sets. It was one of the first results that turned a lot of heads in the Big Ten for Caitlin Schweihofer's team, who has been at the depths of the conference for the last several years, but now are starting to make some waves. Picked to finish 11th in the conference this year. They're still looking for that first win, and there with the kill is Allie Batenhorst. At Louisville, at times they struggle to find a go-to player outside of Kubik to get them kills. And the return of Lauren Stivrins has seemed to really just spark plug this entire team. There's a Rutgers block, though. Maximova and Vernon. In terms of their substitutions, there's Maximova to serve. It's a good one. Big bump set. There's Batenhorst again. Missed the mark badly that time, and the Scarlet Knights back within 2. Known for, whilst leading this team to the pinnacle of the sport several times over the last few years. The 4 straight trips to the Final Four, the 2 national championships in the last 6 years. With this loaded class and the return of the seniors, Lexi Sun and Nicklin Hames and Lauren Stivrins, this is the year they're hoping to make their mark once again. There's Kojadinovic. And it's an ace. 6 matches in the Big Ten. They finished the year with a 4-match winning streak, consecutive sweeps of Maryland and Michigan State. Nice dig from Kojadinovic. Belika sets it for Maximova. Dealt with by Hames. And that one drops in for a kill off the deflection. It's another one for Maddie Kubik. Little in past seasons for Rutgers. Caitlin Schweihofer said, yeah, it's going to be tough. The second year of a rebuild and a new era is always one of the most difficult because you surprise everybody and then nobody is surprised by you. They know that Rutgers is scrappy. They know they can fight, and they're doing so here with a kill from Cheshlik. being able to spread out the attack is something that she felt very confident in. Battle at the net. Belika keeps it alive. Here's Cheshleek. Dug out by Akana. Rutgers did well to send that back. They'll go back to Kubik, and she is on fire now, starting to pick up heat. A good timeout from Caitlin Schweihofer because the Huskers were starting to pick up steam, and here's their best server, Akana, coming out of the timeout. Rutgers forced to go bump set, and Maximova, what a hit that was. Got it through the alley and touched it down right on the line. Job in the one match a couple of weeks ago, but has gotten it back and has started to really deliver. At times, the second leading hitter on this team. Nebraska responds. The number 10 team in the country, 182 to 115. They go back, the Stivrins slide, something that Nebraska fans miss so dearly for the first couple of months for her 6th season. But she made the announcement on August 6th, and since then it was just a matter of time before she was healthy enough to play. There's Belika with a dump set kill. She said it was just one of those moments where you kind of black out. It was so exciting. It was an unreal atmosphere. Seasons of her career last year, first-team All-American, and John Cook said she played injured through most of the year. Vernon wins a battle at the net for almost every year since 2014. Wisconsin and Purdue right behind at 5-1. Penn State 4-1. Minnesota at 4-2. Nice placement that time from Stivrins of conference play. Belika bump set. Kojadinovic on the left pin gets denied. Hames and Stivrins with the block. There was a change in the scoring. That's only the first block there for Nebraska. Coming from the back row with venom. Their offense just at 0.97. It's been the defense that has gotten them to this point. Here's Vernon. No, the decoy, Kojadinovic. Dug out by Lindsey Krause. And the Huskers inch 1 point closer to this first set victory. 5th time since 2013 that Nebraska has started 5-0 in the conference, and they've got an ace from Hames. Try to give a good serve here for Rutgers. In the middle, blocked back by McNamara. He is a spark plug for this team. Nebraska that time, they go back to Krause. Second chance, down the line and through the alley. In the win against the Nittany Lions on Friday night. And an ace for the Huskers. And another ace! 5 in the opening frame. And hopefully give some confidence if you're a Scarlet Knight fan. And they can continue to compete here. First swing of the second set. Nice dig by Chitty. Cheshleek, good reactions to scoop it off the floor after it was blocked back. And that one is airmailed. Time back to Krause. Little quick set for McNamara. How about that dig that time? Lexi Rodriguez, who has been tremendous. You'll look at some other standout players, even Whitney Lowenstein, who has contributed. They are making immediate impacts in some of the biggest matches of the year for the Huskers so far. Big time hit from Kubik. Nice dig from Chitty. Now they go far side, and getting it through the block is Lindsey Krause. Hames back set over the top. Krause, another kill. The number 2 overall prospect by PrepVolleyball.com. All the accolades, All-American out of high school. And a block, and it's Kubik and Stivrins in the middle. Here's Rodriguez. Belika, and not on the same page with Shea McNamara there. Dig yourself an early hole against a team like Nebraska. And another tremendous serve and another ace. A great serving ratio as they do have. 72 aces to 94 errors coming into today. Big bump set, and allows Krause to take it out of the air. Balika back set for McNamara. That time they're on the same page. It was not the same Illinois team that they went to 5 sets with in the Final Four a few years ago, and then they play Iowa on the road before coming back home to play Purdue and Wisconsin. Hames puts that one away. Regular season weekend of the season when they'll play Purdue and Wisconsin. Big hit from Maximova. The 4th set against Indiana, even though it was an off night from Becca Kojadinovic, who had 9 kills but 9 errors. Stivrins, once again. Nearly another ace. Maximova, dug out by Rodriguez. Coming through the middle is Kubik. Sam Graver keeps it alive. The transfer from LaSalle, played under Caitlin Schweihofer at LaSalle. But just too much in the tank right now from the Huskers. They're starting to pick up stride now on the offensive side. Here's Kubik. Nice deep serve. Liga goes for Kojadinovic, who went for the corner, went right at Rodriguez. It was dug out beautifully. Here's Maximova. Near side, how about that power? Kojadinovic dealt with it. Rutgers just keeping the point alive here, but there's another Stivrins slide, and Rutgers defense up to the task here. And that one off the net and just wide. Maximova went for the first row. And that's the thing with Nebraska. They force you to adjust your game plan almost every time at some point throughout the match. Maximova again going for the front row. Yeah, making their presence known now. Seeing the big hitting that we talk about with this team and that everybody around the country talks about with this team on display. That time they go soft over the top. Maximova there for it. Back set, Kojadinovic, dug out by Kubik at the back row. And they're trying to get Allie Batenhorst going here. Rutgers has had the answer. Now the Stivrins slide. Vernon, yes! Megan Vernon, who has had some really nice performances lately since she has made her way into this rotation. Balika has to run to track that one down. Kojadinovic just goes for the back row. Nebraska now on the attack yet again. Batenhorst. Rutgers has had the answer for Allie Batenhorst today. They go back to her. She goes soft, and the Scarlet Knights continue to snuff it out. Here's Sam Graver from the back row. Not a whole lot of swings on the air, but Rutgers right now, they need answers. They need options on offense. They'll go back to Kojadinovic, and it's rejected. A senior, numerous-time All-American. Hasn't played a whole lot this year in conference play. And another ace for the Huskers. Here's Kojadinovic. And right now, Rutgers not doing a whole lot offensively, and the barrage keeps coming. It's Kubik again. A couple of weeks ago when Nebraska went through a tough stretch, and she's only played sparingly since conference play has began, with the freshmen Batenhorst and Krause getting most of the swings at the outside spot. Kojadinovic and Rutgers get a point on an error from Nebraska, but it's something that John Cook says, look, Lexi, our best hitters in practice have been Kubik, Batenhorst, and Krause, so they're the ones that are going to play. And John Cook, who is, again, very ruthless in terms of his demeanor, not one to have a soft side by any stretch of the imagination. Here is Sun, and it's blocked back. Vernon and Kojadinovic has been coming off the bench. But this is a long season. I think the message that John Cook has departed on this team is that, look, it's a long year. Things can change. The starting lineup now might not be the starting lineup in a month from now. And when it comes to postseason experience, Lexi Sun has more of it than almost anybody else in the country. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that storyline continues to develop throughout the season. Just 0-36 right now. There's Vernon. And a huge swing. Hames thought she had to keep it alive, didn't want to risk it. Now Rutgers on the offensive. Cheshlik, and an error against Nebraska. And a bad serve receive isn't going to help. It's another easy point for the Huskers, and that one, women out in that selection of 5 hitters. 3 were picked to feature prominently in the starting lineup. That's a good thing about competition. They continue to push their teammates day in and day out in practice, John Cook and some of the players have said. Koyedinovich, and there's Knuckles to deal with it. Rodriguez might have gotten away with a carry there, but it's put away by Kubik yet again. 22-12 in the kill department. The Aces have been the big story, though, 8-0. Cheshlik down the line, and there is Hames to dig it out. That was punched that time by Lowenstein. Went for the kill shot. Nebraska in pole position to take a 2-0 lead. Middle set, and it's easily flushed home by Callie Schwarzenbach. Had 7 against Northwestern, has 21 in the last 5 matches. She's been the big defensive standstill for Nebraska, and she's got another block. This time it's Stivrins. Either it's Stivrins or it is Schwarzenbach. Those are 2 ferocious warrior-like defenders. A whole ton of set points here. McNamara. And that'll do it, another block. 5th of the match for the number 10 team in the country. A 25-9 dominant second set showing. A 2-0 lead. They've held Rutgers to hitting just barely above the 0 line. And even though they're only hitting 167, they've got 9 aces as a team. Adds her second kill of the match. Velika sets it for Tina Gurkovic, the sophomore from Serbia who's in for the first time today. And then Becca Koyedinovich misses the mark. Velika bump set. Cheshlik. Gurkovic bump set. Cheshlik again goes over the top and drops it in. Granted the extra year of eligibility, as did every other athlete, due to the COVID interruptions. She has made the most of that opportunity. There's a big kill, and it comes from Krause. At times pushed out of the starting lineup a couple of years ago and has not given up on herself and posted some of her best numbers of her career last season as a senior. But Nebraska just keeps coming. Cheshlik again. She's been the go-to player for Rutgers here in this third set, and she's starting to turn it on. It's been a really good mix between Maximova, Cheshlik, and Koyedinovich. Rutgers' 3 big outside hitters. And Becca had to stop herself and then play a free ball. And there's Kubik, dug out by Madison Chitty. There's Maximova. A collision, look out. And leaves Gurkovic with the one to receive it. Knuckles with the dig. Kubik comes up short. That is going to be a big spot to fill when she graduates after this year. Here she is with the dump set, kill, and we've said it before on this broadcast. I'm not sure anybody in the conference does it better as a setter, and she's got over 70 swings on the year, so it's not like it's a very small sample size. She goes for kills often, and she picks her spot so well. Nebraska fans can get used to those. They're going to be said often throughout the next 4 seasons. And they get a block, and it's Stivrins along with Hames. We could go to Megan Vernon, who slides right, went for Knuckles, who digs it out. Here's Kubik again, and another kill. Maddie Kubik determined to make her mark here in her senior season. She wants that first-team All-American selection, and she's been playing like it. There's Vernon with the answer. Rutgers has had to go to Megan Vernon, who now has 4 on the match. Stivrins slide, but it's blocked back. Vernon and Maximova. Give Rutgers credit, they're trying to turn the tide here, down just 2 in the third set. They go back to Stivrins, and she delivers. She went right after Chitty down the line. Vernon again, that time dealt with. Good reactions by Cheshlik to get to it. Now Maximova. And there's Kubik flying through. 9 kills for Maddie Kubik. Last 5, she's at 19, 10, 11, 15, and 19. And another. And there you go. There's the streak continuing. Outside looking in terms of the starting lineup after a hot early season start. She went through a stretch. As there's an error on Rutgers. She went through a stretch against Arizona State. The loss to Louisville. Only 11 swings and just 3 kills. And it was after that that she had a very noticeable outward change. She's been playing the best in practice. She deserves to be in the starting lineup, and she has not made John Cook regret that one bit. There's an ace from the Scarlet Knights. And they go to Stivrins in the middle. Vernon. Here's Sun. Kojadinovic with the left, block back. It's Schwarzenbach and Sun. This program, if you're a Nebraska fan of where they're at and where they could be again in another 2 weeks with a bit of a softer schedule, chance to be 9-0 in the conference when they take on Purdue and Wisconsin. And that battle at the net, outsized but not outclassed. Nicklin Hames. And another ace for the Huskers. Texas Longhorns. The runners-up from a year ago in 4 sets. So now the question is, can Nebraska get over that hump, get back to the Final Four, where they went for 4 straight years? Can they start a new streak? Here's Sun, dug out by Graver. Kojadinovic gets it through. And the fact that they have gotten everything they had hoped for out of the freshmen, Krause and Batenhorst, I think you really got to like your chances if you're the Husker faithful. And there's Kubik again. And after that loss to Louisville, they just have a different look to them. Schwarzenbach. Nebraska now hitting just a tick over 500 here in this third set. But they have gotten better and better as this match has gone on. And they've held Rutgers to hitting just 0.47. Gurkovic. Sun. Yes. For their brand, and not a whole lot more successful than Lexi Sun. An absolute star on Instagram, almost 100,000 followers. Already got a couple of endorsements. And she's just so tremendous for the sport as Schwarzenbach puts down another. Excited to have you along with us here as Nebraska's looking to put the finishing touches on what has been a dominant effort off the net and wide from Krause that they will certainly look to take advantage of. And how about that? There is Lexi Sun. A lot of adversity this year in terms of not getting as much playing time as she would have liked, but again, it is a long season, still plenty of time for Lexi Sun. Then they go on the road to take on Iowa before 2 critical matchups in a span of 4 days at home against Purdue and Wisconsin. And even after that, on the road at Minnesota, Illinois, and Ohio State. So it's going to get real tough at the end of October. And they got to make sure they can take advantage of these favorable matchups. Cheshlik still kept alive, and finally Rutgers wears down the Huskers. And a couple of losses to Northwestern and Indiana has Rutgers on the brink of losing 7 in a row and going to 8 and 9 under 500 for the first time this year. And the schedule doesn't get a whole lot easier for Rutgers. Next weekend, they're at Penn State on Friday night, at Ohio State on Saturday night. To generate some easier points on offense in terms of their big 3 hitters, Maximova, Cheshlik, and Kojadinovic, they're going to start getting some wins. There's Gurkovic, who puts it down. Aims for Stivrins. Lauren Stivrins puts Nebraska 1 point away with her 6th kill of the match. Here's Vernon. And now a chance for the Huskers to do it on offense. Coming through is Knuckles for the win. Dominant effort from Nebraska. They got better as the match went on. They hit over 250 for the match, but it was their defense. 7 blocks. They hold Rutgers to hitting 042, and they get 10 aces to sweep the Scarlet Knights.